Hello, and welcome to the Techno Farm, your one-stop destination for technology. I am your tech boss, Pradip.
Don't forget to subscribe this channel. Kindly click the bell icon to get notification for my future posts.
It's the people's choice. Yes, it's number one.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Techno Farm. This is your tech boss Pradip, and today I will discuss about Auto TTS. Auto TTS is a very useful application made for Android. Those who don't know, Auto TTS allows you to assign multiple TTS against multiple language. So for example, my mother tongue is Bengali. I use English in my mobile and I also know Hindi. So basically I know or I use 3 languages. In this case, with the help of the Auto TTS application, I can assign a particular TTS for English, one for Bengali, one for Hindi. So here are some common FAQs. There is an implementation of the multiple language in Google TTS. So what is the need of Auto TTS then? Yes, there is a multiple language detection feature in Google TTS, but it works only starting from Android 8. So if you have an older device which doesn't have Android 8, you can still use Auto TTS and gain the same access. Secondly, even Google text-to-speech engine has this feature of multi-language detection. Still, it doesn't work all the time as expected. You can experience bugs while using the multi-language detection feature in Google TTS. But in Auto TTS, it works just super. Thirdly, even you can use multi-language detection feature using your Google TTS. In this case, you are limited to only Google TTS. If you have any other TTS, you cannot enjoy this feature. So for example, you cannot assign one voice from Vocalizer TTS for your English, one from something else like Google TTS, for example, for Hindi. You cannot use the combination of multiple TTS for the multi-language feature. But using Auto TTS, you can do the same. Also, there are some bells and whistles available in Auto TTS, which are not part of the Google TTS. And believe me, those are very helpful. So, without much talk, let's come to the main topic, how to use or configure Auto TTS. I don't think that there is any need of demonstration of how to install Auto TTS. It's very simple, just go to the Play Store, search Auto TTS, and you should find that, install it in a normal way. After installing, you need to perform some stuff. So I am now opening Auto TTS from my mobile. I have slowed down the speed of the TTS a little bit, so it should be clearly understood. Anyway, I am opening Auto TTS.
Auto TTS. Auto TTS.
In Auto TTS, you basically have 4 tabs or 4 pages, you can say. So by default, we are in the first page, which is called Mode.
Selected modes.
That means the Mode tab is selected right now. We also have
Languages.
Languages tab,
Voices.
Voices tab,
Licenses.
Licenses tab. So now we are in the Mode tab,
Mode select.
Mode select.
Not checked. None. Radio button.
So basically, if you select none button, that means you are disabling Auto TTS. Against each of the button, the description is clearly written.
Disable auto language detection.
It says disable auto language detection. That means if you select this button, the non-radio button, the auto language selection mode will be disabled. Let's see what's next.
Not checked. Dual languages. Radio button.
Not checked. Dual languages radio button. So if you select this button, what it does, it scans character by character. So for example, if your default language is set to English, and if it finds a Bengali word in the middle of a sentence, it will speak out the word in Bengali TTS which you have assigned for the Bengali language. So let's see what the developer says about this feature.
Character by character language recognition. Reads Latin words by English, others by user specified language.
Okay, it is very much self-explanatory. Let's see the third option.
Checked. Auto language detect. Radio button.
Auto language detect radio button. It is checked for me. As I am a multi-language user, I have selected this radio button. I can also select the dual language radio button if I want, but I personally prefer the auto language selection. So what auto language does? Let's see what the developer says first.
Whole sentence language recognition. Reads text by most possible language. If language can't be detected, reads by user preferred language.
It will scan the whole sentence and find the possible TTS to output the whole sentence depending on the language preference. My default language is set to English, for example. So everything is spoken in English by my TTS, and there is a sentence where some of the words are written in Bengali. So it will automatically speak the whole sentence in Bengali, even if there is some words written in English. So I personally prefer this mode, the auto language mode. You can also select the dual language mode if you prefer to do so. So let's see what the next option number 4.
Not checked. Google TTS. Radio button.
So here is the Google TTS radio button. I have previously stated that Google has the multi-language detection feature, but it doesn't work as expected. So Auto TTS has implemented the same thing like Google. So if you select that mode, it will work like a Google TTS. It will use all the voices which are there in the Google TTS, but it will be bug free. Basically, it works same like the auto mode. It only uses the Google text-to-speech engine or the voices of Google text-to-speech engine for the spoken output. Let's see what the developer says.
Same as auto mode, but only Google TTS is used.
Yeah, right. Same as auto mode, but only Google TTS is used. So here are the 4 radio buttons. As I have stated, mine is set to auto language mode. You can select this one or select the dual language mode. Or if you are only the Google TTS user, if you don't use any other TTS, then you can just select the Google TTS mode and it will work like a Google TTS in a bug-free environment, I must say. There is also another option
Mode settings.
called mode settings.
Select preferred language.
Here it says select preferred language.
Drop down list. English. Eng.
So my preferred language is English. That means I want most of the text will be spoken in English. If it finds anything other than English, then it will change the TTS accordingly. Let's see what's next.
Other options.
Other options.
Checked. Supports multilingual text with locale spans. Checkbox.
Here is an option called support multilingual text in local spans, and it is checked by default. Frankly speaking, I don't know what it actually does. So if any of you know what it actually does, kindly let me know in the comment section. I want to be educated in this area. So this is the first thing or the first tab of operation which you need to set. So basically you have 4 options: none, which will disable the auto TTS, and the dual language selection, which will scan for characters and find the language and then output the text accordingly, obviously spoken output. And then the third radio button is called auto language detect. It will scan for the whole sentence and find the suitable TTS and then output the text accordingly. And the fourth radio button is called Google TTS mode. That means it works like the Google TTS. It uses the voice of the Google TTS and do the same thing what Google TTS does, but in a bug-free environment. Let's see what's in the next tab.
Selected. Modes. Languages. Selected.
So here is the languages page. So this tab or this page is completely optional in my personal point of view. What is there in this page? Here you will get all the languages supported by your installed TTS. So you can check or uncheck the language. By default, all the languages are checked. That means all the language will be available in Auto TTS. If you uncheck any of these languages, it will not be available in Auto TTS. Basically, I personally prefer to ignore this page. Just for the sake of this demonstration, I'll show you what is there.
Multi-page view. Select languages. Select all languages you'd like to work with. Noted that below list contains only languages supported by TTS engines on your device.
So this is the explanation by the developer. So let's see what is there.
Checked. Bangla. Ben. Checked. Cantonese. U. Checked. Chinese. ZHO. Checked. Czech. Says. Checked. Danish. Dan. Checked. Dutch. NLD. Checked. English. Eng.
So if I uncheck the Dutch language from here, from this page, then this particular language will not available in the next tab. When I'll discuss about the next page or next tab, this language will not be available there. Anyway, so I don't think that it requires much more attention. So I'm going to the next tab.
Voices. Selected.
So here is the Voices tab. I can say the final tab of Auto TTS. What's there? Let's see.
Voice settings.
Here is the voice settings.
Choose an installed voice for each language. Recommendation. Assign one engine per language to avoid switching delay.
So basically, here are 2 drop-down menus. In the first drop-down, you will find the list of languages. In the second drop down, you will find the TTS assigned for that particular language. Okay, so let's see what's there.
Select language.
Select language.
Drop down list. Bangla. Ben.
Drop down list. Bangla. BEN. The Bengali language is selected by default. And if I swipe again,
Choose a voice for above language.
I find choose the voice for above language. And then if I swipe once,
Drop down list. Google. Engine. BGD.
I find Google Engine BGD. So basically Google Engine BGD is selected for the Bengali language in my case. So let's elaborate a little bit. I am going to the first drop down once again.
Select language.
Select language.
Drop down list. Bangla. Ben.
Bengali. Let's say I wanna assign one TTS for a different language. So I'm double tapping on that drop down.
Pop-up window. Checked. Bangla. Ben.
I have got the list of languages. So I'm swiping.
Cantonese. U. Chinese. ZHO. Czech. Says. Danish. Dan. Dutch. NLD. English. Eng. Estonian. Est. Filipino. Phil.
So all the languages which are supported by the TTS installed in my phone is listed here. For example,
Finnish. Finn. French. Fra.
let's say French. I don't speak French anyway. So I wanna select or assign a TTS for French language, let's say. So I am double tapping on that.
French. Fra. Auto TTS. Drop down list. French. Fra.
Now, in the first language selection drop down, I have selected French. So I'm swiping.
Choose a voice for above language.
Choose a voice for above language.
Drop down list. Disabled.
Disabled. So by default, no TTS is assigned for the French language. I'm clicking that drop down.
Pop-up window. Checked. Disabled.
By default, it is disabled.
Google. Engine. Can. Google. Engine. Fra.
Two TTS or two particular voice of Google TTS which supports French. So one is
Google. Engine. Can.
this one and another one is.
Google. Engine. Fra.
So I am selecting Google TTS Fra.
Google. Engine. Fra. Auto TTS. Drop down list. Google. Engine. Fra.
So basically I am done. I have selected or I have assigned the Google Engine FRA or Fra this voice for the French language. So now I can select German for example and assign a different one for German. I can select Hindi and assign one for Hindi and stuff like that. I can go on and do the same thing with other language if I wish. In my case, as I previously stated that I use Bengali, I use Google TTS BGD or Google TTS Bangladesh Bangla for that particular voice. I also use English. So let's see what's assigned for my English voice.
Choose a voice. Drop down list. French. Fra. Pop-up window. Checked. French. Fra.
I have again clicked on that language drop down and I am selecting English.
Finnish. Filipino. Estonian. English. Eng. English. Eng. Auto TTS. Drop down list. English. Eng.
So in the first language selection drop down, I have selected English. So obviously the next drop down, the TTS selection drop down should reflect the particular TTS which I have assigned for my English voice. So let's see.
Choose a voice for above language. Drop down list. Vocalizer TTS. USA.
So in my case, I have selected Vocalizer TTS USA, the Sumantha voice. So it is very flexible. Not only that, it has some bells and whistles. So I'm swiping again. Let's see what's there.
Test. Button.
I can use the test button.
This is an example of speech synthesis in English.
If I swipe next,
Speed.
speed. That means I can specify a particular speed or particular speech rate per language. So let's say I am very fluent in English. So I want my speech rate of English to be higher, like let's say 25%. But in the other hand, I am not very fluent in Hindi. So I want the speech rate to be 10% in Hindi. So let's see how I can control the speed.
Decrease speed. Button.
Decrease speed button, self-explanatory. Also here is the slider,
20%. Seat control.
20% seek control. So you can use the slider to adjust the speed as well. And obviously there is the
Increase speed. Button.
increase speed button. So you can use either the increase and decrease speed button, or you can use the slider or the seek control to specify the speed or the speech rate for the given language. In our demonstration, the language is set to English for now. So I can now select a different language, for example Bengali, and I can make it 30% if I want.
Volume.
Volume.
Decrease volume. Button. 100%. Seat control. Increase volume. Button.
Okay, so as you can see, you can also specify the volume of the TTS for the particular language. For example, I am using Vocalizer for my English and I am using Google Text to Speech for Hindi. If I find that the volume of the Hindi or the Google TTS is louder than the volume of the Vocalizer TTS, I can make it softer. Very flexible. Let's see what's next.
Pitch.
Oh my god, pitch. So you can specify the pitch per language. So you can, increase the speech of the Vocalizer TTS for English, decrease the speech for the Google TTS in Hindi, increase the pitch of the Google TTS in Bengali and stuff like that.
Decrease pitch button.
Same kind of controls.
50% seat control. Increase pitch button. Default button.
Default button. So we can decide the speech rate, the pitch rate, the volume to their default settings. So nothing is there. Obviously, there is another tab called licenses where you can read the license and terms and stuff like that. I'm not going to read it right now. You can do it yourself. So that's the settings of the Auto TTS, the configurations, the modes, etc. You should select your Auto TTS as your default text-to-speech engine from the text-to-speech dialog. You know how to do that. So you can go there from your global context menu if you want, or you can use the other way. You can go to the settings, select accessibility, select text to speech and stuff like that. I'm not going to describe those in this podcast because it is already known to you. Anyway, I think this podcast is helpful for you. If you have any question, write it in the comment section below. Please like and share this video so it reaches more and more people. Don't forget to subscribe our channel if you have not done it already. If you want to know more about me, you can visit my website www.pradipsikdar.com. It's PRADIPSIKDAR.com. Bye for now. We'll meet you in the next episode. Thank you.